Had a lot of work off my customers this week. Done all right. A couple of jobs on the CX to top it all up, and I'm very happy with it. And I'm loving the new van. Hello again, everybody. David here, Anvil Logistics. It's Monday, 12th of February, 2 days from Valentine's Day. Did you get something sorted, lads? Or lasses? And at the moment, I'm just parked up in a yard in Accrington. I'm waiting for some air freight. It's not quite ready yet. I'm taking it back to an air freight depot. Today, I have been gainfully employed by my own customer. I had 4 deliveries to do, which I did this morning, and then I had to do this collection at 3 o'clock. So that left me a window between sort of like 11:30 to 3 to see if I could find anything else to fill in the gaps. They offered me a job, but the timings just wouldn't have worked out. It was go to near Manchester Airport, take something down to Stafford, then come back and do this collection after. But it was just too tight. So in the end, the CX again came to be rescued, but not for normal work yet again. Normal work, I never seem to get anything. Of putting £50 minimum charge bids in for long wheelbase work, didn't get a sniff of anything. And I managed to get a hazardous goods ADR job, which was going from Manchester near Strangeways up to near where I live, actually, up Rochdale, but not far past where I live, because I live in Royton. And I got a minimum charge for that, my ADR minimum charge, and then that gave me enough time to get back here to Accrington, which is about 20 miles up the road. I'm just waiting now to load this and get this back and dropped off. So the day I got basically a day rate for doing those things off them, which was pretty fair day rate. And I managed to throw an extra £100 on it as well by doing that job, so that's not bad. They don't think they're too busy tomorrow, so I might be at the mercy of the old Courier exchange tomorrow. We'll wait and see. It's time yet for them to get some working. And that is it. That is today. Nothing else interesting to say, except that for once in my life, I've actually bought some Valentine's gear ahead of time, and it's actually in the van hidden. So nothing too outrageous, but just to show that I didn't forget. I hope you lot are having a good day as well, and I'll let you know how we do as the week goes on. Hi everyone, it's Tuesday now. Tuesday. I'm talking loud because I did record a piece and then I didn't realise the microphone was flat. So I'm going to try and talk over the road noise. Tuesday the 13th of February, it's 2:30 in the afternoon, and I am going from Southport to Hayes. I'm doing some government documents for my customer. Not the best job in the world. It pays okay, but you get back late. Now yesterday, I did all right yesterday money-wise, because I did work for my customer and picked up an ADR job on the CX. Today, I didn't have anything from my customer. In fairness, they did tell me yesterday they weren't busy, and if I could find something, just simply let them know. And I put some bids in this morning. Didn't get one. Bid for quite a few things, for long wheelbase and extra long wheelbase, but because I wasn't willing to work for a pat on the head and a boiled egg, I didn't get any of them. And I'm not willing to work super cheap in this van for nobody. I don't get set out to rip people off. I just want a realistic rate per mile. If you can't give it me, then it doesn't matter. I won't work for you. But I will say that the rates are set by us lot, the drivers. And you boys who are bidding so cheap, you're not going to earn any money, lads. You're going to be packing a game in soon, aren't you? Because you're not going to get the money. You're going to come across repairs on your van that you can't afford to pay for, or you're co-loading a lot. And if you're co-loading with permission, that's fine. If you're not co-loading with permission, you'll probably come unstuck down the line somewhere. If you get away with it, well, that's up to you. Anyway, me having a bit of a moan there. I managed to cop myself a job anyway. I got a hazardous load, which I got out of Manchester from a shipper on the CX who does give me quite a bit of ADR work. Only going up to Rochdale, but it had 3 drops. So I got my minimum charge plus charge per drop as well. So not a lot of fuel used, but a decent amount of money, you know, considering how far I went and what I had to do. And then I got a phone call, can you do a document run for us from my customer? To which I said yeah, because obviously it's February, work's not, you know, falling into my arms. So when the work gets offered, I'm going to take it if it suits. The only downside of this is that Man City are playing tonight, and I'm going to miss another game. I'll listen to it, of course, on the radio. It's not quite the same as watching it in the comfort of my armchair, surrounded by chocolate. But what can you do? I've got to get the money when I can. These vans aren't cheap to buy. It's got to be paid for somehow. But seriously, it is quiet, and with having 2 good days to start the week, it kind of takes the pressure off for the rest of the week, doesn't it? Don't get me wrong, if I can make loads of money every day, I will do. But if you get a good start, you just feel a bit better about yourself. So that's what we're doing. So we're heading down to Hayes. I doubt I'll get a back load. It's extremely unlikely, and I don't particularly want to get a back load. But if one was to jump out at me and say, hey, fat man, take me back to Oldham, then I'll do it. But realistically, I think turn, burn, and see what tomorrow brings. They may ring me when I'm on the way down, giving me a job for tomorrow. I'm not going to get back so late that I can't get up early to do a job tomorrow, am I? And it's not exactly been a hard day today, has it? So I should be okay. Anyway, that's me for the week so far. I'll catch up later in the week and let you know how we've got on. Right, Wednesday, February the 14th, Valentine's Day. I love, joy, happiness, and heavy traffic through Birmingham, which is rather fitting that I'm wearing my Peaky Blinders tribute hat, since I'm going through the home city of those delightful characters. Now today is not a bad day. I got back from the run down south and listened to the game. City won, and was asked on the way back if I'd do this job which I'm doing today, which is a cracker in terms of money. So picked up this morning from a defence industry contractor, collected 2 pallets and a box, all nicely strapped and secured in the back, and I'm dropping off in Slough, and then I'm carrying on to ME1 in Kent. Is it Rochester? So it's quite a lot of miles, and it's decent money. This is some good paying job, this one. So it means that I'll probably get to Rochester, Tolchester, or whatever it's called, in the afternoon, mid-afternoon. I'll drop in Slough about 12:30, 1, and I'll be a couple of hours up to Tolchester, Rochester. I'll get it right one day. So it means that I'm going to be late back, or the alternative is stay down here, and sorry about that, bit of braking, and then try and find something back up. But 1, I'm unlikely to do it, and 2, I don't fancy it. I don't fancy trying to find a job on the CX at £18 a mile, because I won't get it. I'm going to get 18 pence a mile if I'm lucky, because of course they want you to do it for nothing. And if they see you're a northern driver, they'll feel that you should be going back cheap, even though it's the bloody morning and it's not effectively a backload, is it? It's a job. So I won't bother. I've been well paid for this. I'm driving home. If something comes up to get me part way home, fine. If not, I really don't give a monkeys. I'm not going to get back till evening. And quite frankly, I don't care, because what this means is, with this good job today and the 2 pretty decent days I've had already, albeit long yesterday, I broke the back on the week. The week is now sorted. Everything else is gravy. So by doing this, getting the work whilst you can, because tomorrow is promised to nobody, I've already guaranteed I've got my money this week. Any additions from tomorrow onwards are all simply bonuses to be put away for rainy days. So I don't mind doing this job, and I like this kind of work anyway. Let's face it, it's a lot bloody easier taking 2 deliveries in a comfortable vehicle with your air conditioning and your iPlayer and all that kind of stuff going on than doing 20 or 30 drops in a day. You can ring your friends if they had any. You can bring myself. You can listen to music, podcasts. I could even listen to the Anvilliers, because I'm the only one who listens to them as well. And it's easier all round, isn't it? So that's what we're doing. Broke the back for the week. Everything else from this point will be gravy, which for February is an absolute bonus. So happy Courier today. And I'll let you know on Friday if I did anything else. I probably will have done. Well, I hope I have. But for the time being, it's a good day today. Morning, everybody. It's Friday today. I think it's the 16th. And it is just after 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm driving over the Menai Bridge, going from Anglesey into mainland Britain. And we are heading to North Yorkshire. This is a great job today. And nice and easy. And it will finish me off for the week. So yesterday, what happened yesterday? Thursday, I did a job that I'm not really keen on doing, but I covered it for my customers because they needed an extra van for it. And it's a kind of multi-drop, but not in the truest sense of the word, in so much that you're not doing 60, 70 drops. It's business to business, and basically it's air freight, and you're delivering it and doing some collections. So in this particular instance, it was 11 things to do. So it was something like 7 collections and, do my maths, 4 deliveries. It might have been slightly different, but you get the picture. And it was northwest. So it was kind of Crewe, Nantwich area, Wrexham, Runcorn, Warrington, the Wirral, and then Liverpool, Burscough, which is kind of near Southport, and Skelmersdale. And it took most of the day. Shall I change gear? And I don't like doing it. You get a day rate for it. You normally get done for about 3 o'clock. But yesterday was a bit traumatic in terms of that it seemed to take longer. The distances seemed longer between the drops. And I got back to the air freight depot at 5 o'clock. But it's boring work, and I don't enjoy it. I'll do it, but it takes the fun out of the job. But because I agreed to do it, it helps them out. They've rewarded me with this job today, which is from an airbase in Anglesey going to an airbase in North Yorkshire. It's very well paid. I'll be in North Yorkshire by 11:30, and I'll be finishing early for the day. Unless they ring me and ask me to cover something else, I'll be happy and go home. And it will have been a very good week in terms of money. Highs and lows in the week, of course. You've heard what I've been up to in the week already. Couple of late nights. Today was an early get up.
But on the whole, considering the time of year and considering, you know, the way the economy's been moving at the moment, I've not had a bad January and into February so far. And I am pleasantly surprised by the money I've managed to take, and lucky. And this is what I want to get into, stress to people. I do get messages from, you know, people who maybe think I'm all knowing, and I'm not, asking advice about getting into the industry, or I'm going to start soon, what would you do? It's all different for everybody. You've got to work how it's best for you. And because any advice I give is only based on what I think, and it may not be right for you. But the one thing I will say is that if you were thinking of, say, coming on and using a platform like the Courier exchange and only using that as a new person, I think you'd be very disappointed by the money you'd take. You know, I've only done 2 jobs on the Courier exchange this week, and those have been hazardous goods, because I've had work from my own customer. And that is what I think you should do. Find your own customers, whether it be a shipper who uses you regular for a fair price, or your own direct customers. Don't rely on the platforms that are out there, like the Courier Exchange and the delivery app. They really are only, in my opinion, suitable to supplement your income. Yes, I know people out there only work the Courier Exchange and they earn a living off it. But from what I see, the main people who earn a living off it are willing to tramp out or hotel stay, work very long hours, because the rate per mile is not enough. What the jobs are selling for, and as I said before, it's drivers who dictate the price, because what you bid dictates the price. It's too cheap. Too cheap to run your van and make a profit. So you need to find work that pays you a fair price and use that Courier Exchange work as a bit of a top-up, a bit of a filler. You know, they'll sell you a dream on the adverts. They'll tell you there's, 20,000 unsold jobs and there's this and that. I'm sorry to tell you, but it's hyped up, and some of it, in my opinion, it's not quite true the way it is. You know, jobs are posted on there, sometimes not even jobs. They're just shippers putting feelers out to get a price for something that hasn't even materialised yet. And you will frequently see the same job, as in the same starting point and finishing point, advertised by 3 or 4 different shipping companies, which means that somebody's ringing different transport companies for a quote. They're then putting that job out on the Courier Exchange to get drivers to bid on it, so that they can then put a price to the customer. So it doesn't even exist, but that goes down as an unsold load. So it's not strictly true. So if you're going to use things like the Courier Exchange, and bear in mind it's going to cost you 2,000 quid, roughly, you're not going to get a good rate per mile. So, for example, I did 2 jobs on the Courier Exchange this week. That is all. The rest of my work was from my own customer. And that is what I would advise anyone who is thinking of coming into this industry to do. Make contacts, get in touch with people, build up relationships. Don't rely totally on getting your work from platforms, because everybody's taking a little dip out of that before you even get it. So you're essentially a bottom feeder. Don't get me wrong, there are some jobs you'll get a fair price for. It's not every single job. And the hazardous loads, you get at a decent price, because there's not all that many people licensed to carry them. But for the general loads, where anybody can carry it, they're just going for the cheapest bits. You check out Freddie Fletcher Limited. He's got a YouTube channel. It's very popular. Not got quite as many subscribers as me, but he's trying. He tells you, people put stupidly low bids in, sometimes stupidly high. But I know of an example where someone's put an extra long wheelbase job in to go from the Manchester area to Cornwall, where there's no work really, and they quoted less than 90 pence a mile. How's that pay? It doesn't pay. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. You know, you might as well consider yourself to be a charity worker in that case, because it's too cheap. You know, realistically, you should be asking 120, 130 a mile. You've got to earn a living. You've got to make a profit. You've got to account for everything that's going to happen to you. You've got to put money aside. It's not outrageous amount, 130 a mile. You get your own customer, and most people, probably for a van that size, are asking 150, 160 a mile. So as maybe, if they sub it out to you, yeah, 120, 130 a mile. But that's the kind of money you need, and this is talking about long wheelbase work here. And again, the little vans are bidding 50 pence a mile to get a job. Well, you might as well not do it. You might as well say to the shipper, in fact, don't pay me, I'll pay you. I'll give you some money so I can do that job, because you're basically doing it for nothing anyway. Just think of the big picture. And before you come in here, commit all that money. Watch as many of these YouTube channels as you can. I'll give you some channel names now so you can look them up. So you've got Freddie Fletcher Limited. You've got Tall Man Small Van. I think it's TMS Speed Services. You've got Neil Neptune Courier. You've got the Saintsman. He drives a small van. White Knight Courier. I could go on. Some of them are not putting as many out at the moment. You've got Andy P. I would say you, Tom, but you're not putting any videos out, so there's no point in recommending the channel. And then you've got older channels that are still, the videos are still out there. You can watch them. Like Big Beardy, people like that, Van on the Run. You know, he's give the game up. So watch his and see why he's give the game up. Get a full understanding picture of everything that goes on before you go and splash out money on buying vans, paying expensive insurance, and go into it with your eyes open. People have said that we glorify it. I don't glorify it. I tell you how it is. This industry at the moment is tough, and I am lucky. I have got a good customer who gives me regular work, and without it, I'd be struggling to make it pay. And I don't want that with anyone. I don't want people to say, I joined the Courier Exchange, or I set up as a courier based on you saying it's great. It's great if you've got the work. If you've not got the work, it's nothing but a worry. So bear it in mind, be real. If you are going to do it, I really, really hope it works out for you. And I hope you get something from these videos that are out there, because they're out there to try and help people. Let's face it, they're out there to entertain you, aren't they? If you want entertaining, you need to check out the Ambaliers, Oldham's #1 group that I happen to be in. And maybe you could get our subscriptions up from the 4 we've got. What I might do is in the description, I might put a link to it. And if you want to do a pity subscription, you can do. But on the whole, that aside, this week has been a great week for me in terms of money. There's been some long hours. I've worked for it. No one gave it me. And we'll move on to next week and see how we do. The new van, I absolutely adore it. It is fantastic. It's everything I thought it would be. The miles per gallon for such a big van are really impressive. You know, you're not going to get mega miles per gallon out of a van this size, but for what it gives me, I'm pleasantly surprised. It's comfortable. The load area is fantastic. And I'm glad I got her. Just got to pay for her now. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for sticking with this channel. Please give us a thumbs up. Helps the channel get out there. And please subscribe. Don't cost you now. Perfectly free. And again, that helps the channel. I'll see you in my next video. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments. Any suggestions, pop them in the comments. Got any insults, pop them in the comments. Thank you.